What we wanting to do this afternoon is to take you through the reasons for the development of the Business Advisory Services modules within ESS BIZTOOLS. We believe that the offering of business advisory services is of great importance for accountancy businesses to position yourselves to take advantage of the market opportunities that are there at present and will continue to evolve over the next few years. The Deloitte report, Digital Disruption, has really highlighted some of the challenges facing a number of business groups, including professional practices, and obviously that is a key component, these accountancy businesses. There is going to be a lot of changes. I'm sure you've seen them happening already. And perhaps now is a good opportunity to be saying, well, how are we going to take advantage of the opportunities that are being presented? Because if you don't take advantage of the opportunities, it could be a fairly dismal period in the next 2.5 to 3 years and from thereafter, if the Deloitte predictions are correct. They're predicting a 32% average change in professional practices are going to occur over that period of time and then remain in situ, as it were. Many accountants have indicated to me and to other industry advisors over the years that one of the reasons accountants haven't been supplying business advisory services is because they are too busy doing compliance work. Well, if Deloitte's are right in their forecast, there's going to be some freed up time in most accountancy businesses around Australia and New Zealand. So there will be an opportunity to look at presenting other products and services. Our suggestions to you is that one of the key products that you look at seriously offering your clients is business advisory services. Being able to perform a chief financial officer type role for your small, medium enterprise clients. There's no doubt, in our opinion, that that is what the small, medium enterprise market's looking for. CCH released a survey in April which identified interviews with 1,200 small business operators and 270 accountancy businesses. And this report identified key areas that small businesses were seeking advice in. When you add that to the various surveys conducted over the years by MYOB as to what the market was looking for, there is ample evidence that the small business community want their accountants to be able to play a bigger role in their day-to-day business activities. So within ESS BIZTOOLS, for the last 10 years we've been developing products to assist accountants to develop the systems to offer business advisory services. But in the last couple of years we realized that accountants didn't really have the time to develop their own systems from the basic material we had been providing. So we then decided that we would write modules for business advisory services. And we've developed 13 of those, and we're going to add another 4 during this financial year. But as we were preparing this material, it's obvious to us that the foundations need to be laid properly. Getting ready to offer business advisory services is a fairly difficult task in getting the mindset, getting everyone on the bus and seated on the right seats. So within our material we have developed these products to assist in getting ready. So in the first instance we're looking for information from partners. So our material includes a survey form for partners to complete, whereby partners can identify what their real thoughts are about business advisory services. Team members are very important. What do they think? My experience is that about 90% of your accountants will tell you that they are interested in delivering business advisory services. About 10% will not be interested. But you need those people. You need them to continue to undertake the compliance work within your firm. And you still want that at the highest economic level that you can have it at. But after they've been through some of the processes and understand what's involved in business advisory services, some of your team members will change their mind. So in our experience, you'll get back to 50 to 60% of your accountants are keen to have an ongoing involvement in business advisory services. What about your clients? In my experience in consulting to accountancy firms on the introduction of business advisory services, it's not enough to quote the MYOB surveys or the Smith Inc. 2020 surveys, or more recently the CCH survey, because many accountants will say, yeah, but our clients are a bit different. We do things differently here. So one way to overcome that particular comment is to ask your own clients what they want in the supplier services. So our material includes a questionnaire that our suggestion is that either a facilitator talks to clients and gets their feedback and then completes the survey form, or partners interview other clients of the firm, the ones that they're not normally acting for, to get the client's views on the type of services that should be offered. In my experience, over 80% of your clients will tell you that they would like you to supply a wider range of services. And that bears out the various surveys that have been undertaken over the last 12 years. But one of the interesting comments that a lot of clients will make, and the words that I've put it into, are as follows. Well, now that I know that they're going to do this sort of work, we're going to be monitoring our accountants to make sure they do it, because we want this sort of service delivered. One of the comments that also comes from the client survey is in answering a question about the accountants that are working on their records, not the partner, but on the accountants. And again, I've summarised this as to what most people have been saying and put the words together as follows. We want our accountant to understand more about our business than the profit and loss account. To understand more about our business than the profit and loss account. Surely what the clients are talking about is having an understanding of the business, going to see the clients in their own business premises, their office, their factory, their farm, or wherever they operate from, understanding the key performance indicators that can affect that business, being mindful of the industry that the client operates in, and other things. What's the trading conditions within that industry? What's the competitor's force? In other words, having a grasp of what's going on, similar to what you would have as an accountant if you were working full-time for that client in their business. We really believe that this is the challenge that is confronting accountancy businesses who are wanting to run business advisory services for their clients. There is going to be a requirement for enhanced leadership within not only the partners of the firm, but also the managers and the accountants who become champions, product or industry champions in the delivery of business advisory services. So the material that we use in the introduction to business advisory services considers various leadership issues, and we're relying on the information that's been prepared by our leadership consultant, Peter McDougall, ex-colonel in the Australian Army. The material also includes summaries of team training that's going to be necessary, because to effectively present business advisory services, your accounting team are going to have to think on more issues than taxation and audits. They're going to have a wider knowledge of what's going on in that particular industry, but also they may have to undertake some additional courses. It might be in public speaking, it might be in being able to present webinars, it might be in using other technology so that they're able to communicate with the team. And the product and services to be offered. We have 13 at present, but there may be some others that some firms have already got. We're not suggesting you start with 10 or 12 or 13 or more of these products on day one, perhaps 3, and then in 6 months' time add another 3, so that you progressively are able to introduce the material. So we've talked about the questionnaires there on the screen. The classification of clients we believe is important. Quite a number of accountancy businesses have not classified their clients. In the material which subscribers receive, we have a form which will assist in classifying A, B and C class clients. In our system, we're suggesting that a class client should be a client that you can offer business advisory services to, and a B class is one that you are trying to cultivate so that you could offer business advisory services to. Another very important question to consider in preparing for business advisory services is the industries that your firm serves. When I go in on a consultancy assignment for an accountancy business, one of my first questions is what industries does this firm service? Unfortunately, quite a number of accountancy businesses cannot readily answer that. Our recommendation is that you should know the exact number of clients that you have in different industries and the revenue that you are earning and what percentage of your fees you are earning from particular industries. Because part of the concept of offering business advisory services is going to entail becoming more familiar with industry. So if you have clients in the beef industry, our recommendation is that someone within your team becomes your beef cattle champion. And if you have medical clients, that someone becomes the medical practice champion. And if you have steel fabricating businesses, the same thing. So that some individual expertise and more intimate knowledge of what goes on in particular industries is available to some of your team members. So that will lead to some industry specialization, a preparedness to prepare papers and presentations at industry conferences to talk about financial issues, financial management issues of particular industries. It's one way that individual team members within your accountancy business can be considered experts in a particular industry because you have developed some knowledge of an industry and then are prepared to make presentations at industry events. For most accountancy businesses, to successfully introduce business advisory services could take up to 3 years. Some are able to achieve it earlier. It does depend on the amount of resources that are introduced. We believe that your broad aim should be that within 3 years you are going to be able to generate 30% of your overall fee income from offering business advisory services. Part of this is going to require partners to be involved, not so much in the actual presentation of the individual business advisory services products, but in mentoring and coaching the accountants who are going to be involved in this process, and in rainmaking activities, talking to clients, making sure the clients are going to come along and participate in discussions on subjects relating to business advisory services from some of your managers and other accountants. So the requirement within leadership is to create the vision, to understand the need to change. As I said in the opening comments, accountancy is definitely going to change over the next 2.5 years. Deloitte's report is challenging us all to identify the opportunities. So to create new visions for how you believe your firm can operate to meet the challenges that are now emerging because of cloud technology, new software products, clients wanting more services, competition from other people, such as business coaches and consultants, who, if accountants don't claim this turf, the role of being the chief financial officer for their clients, others will try to do so. In fact, at a Smith Inc. 2020 conference at Service Paradise in February, one of the speakers, an accountant from a major city, indicated that he had a client that he'd had for 15 years and was reviewing the profit and loss account, and noticed there was an entry, business consulting, $26,000. He knew the client hadn't paid his firm $26,000, so he rang the client and inquired what this money was for. The client very enthusiastically told him he'd hired a business coach, and he was very happy. The accountant said, "You realise we could have supplied those services to you." According to the accountant, the phone went dead for about 30 seconds, and then the client said, "John, I've been your client for 15 years. You have never once told me that you could have undertaken the services that the business coach has performed for me." So the accountant, who I'm calling John, then obviously said to the participants in this conference, we need to be communicating our vision to our clients. We had prepared services along the lines of business advisory service, but we obviously hadn't communicated that successfully to our clients because this client claimed he didn't know anything about it. You're going to need, as part of the leadership challenge, to encourage involvement from all of your team members. And this will start right at the very front of most of your offices, the receptionist, the director of first impressions. You need to ensure that that person understands what the type of services your firm is now going to offer to your small, medium enterprise clients, so that he or she can speak enthusiastically about the services that you're offering. And obviously these new products need to be incorporated into the overall culture of your accountancy business, that your marketing material, whilst it can still refer to taxation and compliance type products, also gives equal weighting to business advisory services or offering a chief financial officer service. So within the team training, the ESS BIZTOOLS material for preparation for offering business advisory services has a full training program for the team members in making sure they're developing the skills and knowledge of these other products, many of which they have not thought anything about since they left uni, or perhaps might have covered some of them in their PY type training. The system includes a balanced scorecard questionnaire to encourage the team members to record their attitude and their feelings on various items. We've coined the terms product champions and industry champions because we believe for every product or service that you decide to offer, you need one or two people who become the real experts in all the intricacies of that particular service that you're offering your clients, so that they can be the product champions. They become the go-to people if others want to understand about the products that are being offered. Industry champions I've referred to a little earlier. I believe most of you will find that 80% of your clients are from 5 or 6 industry groups. That seems to be the sort of feedback firms that I've worked with supply. So list them out and then identify who is also going to become industry champions. It might be some of the product champions, or it might be allocated to some other people in the firm who read particular newspapers. They might have to read the Country Life if you have farming or grazing clients. They might have to read some industry journals, whether they're pharmaceutical, dental, medical, or other industry magazines, real estate for argument's sake. They may have to ask the client if they can go to some industry meetings and conferences so as to gain a greater understanding of what goes on in that industry. One of the best days I ever spent in my career was when a real estate agent who I was about to start preparing a business plan for invited me to go and listen to an industry expert who gave an unbelievable overview of the workings of a real estate agency. To be honest, I had no idea about some of the aspects of how they go about farming for clients and developing their contacts. So industry champions can be very important for you. So one of the key things you're trying to do here is to make sure you got the right people. Our recommendation is every one of these people selected as part of the business advisory services team should be asked to prepare their own personal plan for the next 12 months. And we have templates for that. And it suggests that they may have to look at some other activities to broaden their knowledge and skills. Perhaps they should join Toastmasters or Rostrum so they can improve their ability and their confidence to speak in public. Perhaps they need some specific training on utilization of some of the technologies. Perhaps they should be undertaking the Australian Institute of Company Directors diploma course so that they have a far better understanding of some of the key management leadership directional issues confronting businesses. And incidentally, they will meet a lot of very interesting small, medium enterprise operators who are there undertaking the AICD course. It can be great for contact. Perhaps they should join the Junior Chamber of Commerce or the Chamber of Commerce in your location. But for some of your younger team members, in most areas now, there are junior chambers of commerce. Great way to make contacts with other business people. Great way to improve their self-esteem and confidence. We believe that they all need mentors. Now, the mentors can be partners, but they should be allocated at the beginning of the year. So the team member, the product champion or industry champion knows who their mentors are. They can go and talk to them. And as part of this whole process, there's going to be needs of some mock interviews. So all of this material is covered within the services which we can offer. The products or services to be offered, very important. Don't overdo it to start with. I'll just go back. There's some of the products which we've already produced. Business analysis and interpretation of results, health checks, government grants, business planning, budgets and cash flows, debtors, cash flow management, succession, selling, buying, chief financial officers, strategic business mentoring. In the next 12 months, we're preparing modules on risk management, capital raising, investment readiness, and family businesses. Within ESS BizTools, there's already papers on all that material, but we'll be adding to it in specific modules to assist in the delivery. So that's an overview of what part one of preparing for business advisory services is about. We've had one question come in from one of you. Thank you very much. The Deloitte report that I'm referring to is the Deloitte report. It's on their website, digital disruption. In the email we're going to send to you after this webinar, we will include the link to the Deloitte website. It's about an 80-page report. I honestly believe it should be compulsory reading so that you have an understanding of the challenges that Deloitte are forecasting that are going to affect accountancy businesses, but also a number of others, because they've highlighted that there are significant issues already underway in retail, information technology, and professional services, real estate agencies. That's in the first 3 years. And then in the next 3 years, they've identified a further group of business industries that are going to be affected by these profound changes. Just a reminder that ESS BIZTOOLS, as part of trying to make a contribution to the challenge that's affecting accountants, we've decided to offer a 33% price reduction on our 12 months gold subscription, which includes a subscription to ESS BizGrants, our product which will assist you to identify government grants for small medium enterprise operators. This offer is available until the 31st of August. You can obtain a 12 months 24/7 access to ESS BIZTOOLS and ESS BizGrants, irrespective of the number of authors within your office, for $1,990, including GST. We have some specific product webinars coming up. If you're interested in going through and looking at what is in some of the products to do with ESS BIZTOOLS, on Thursday the 15th of August on succession planning, and Chief Financial Officer Services on the 22nd of August, whereby in 30 minutes we will review what's contained there. We have the second part of this webinar is on this Thursday, same time, 12 noon Eastern Time, and we are repeating some webinars which we've already run in the last 6 weeks. Cash flow management on Wednesday the 7th of August, and selling a business on the 12th of August. We also have some new products which we're introducing to commence in November, which we're calling Business Advisory Services Implementation Program, BASIP. And it's going to be a weekly webinar presentation of 2 hours and a weekly Skype one-on-one discussion with the individual accountancy businesses for 30 minutes. If you have any interest in that program and it's still being developed, please send us an email and we'll be happy to keep you up to date with information on it.